Support WrestleLuke. Give me a subscribe.
What will Enzo Amore do next? I'm Luke Owen, this is Ollie Davies, and this is Luke Owen's WrestleRamble featuring Ollie Davies in a very minor role.
Hi.
So he could go to Ring of Honor, he could go to New Japan, or he could return to WWE, or in fact continue his rap career. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Well, so Enzo Amore left WWE in January. He seemed, well, not just left by his own accord, he was released by WWE under the sexual assault allegations, which have since been dropped, and also just like almost a year of backstage heat rumours. So I feel like he's burnt that bridge.
Oh, yeah, like...
So I don't think a WWE return's possible. So you've got obviously there's a wrestling return, which is probable, or the rap stuff, which he could continue with. Probably, hopefully he's got some friends who are saying...
the rap stuff seems to have... the rap stuff seems to have done fairly well. Apparently the video Pheonix was trending on the YouTubes this week. I mean, and it was hosted on like World Star Hip Hop, which is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I know that. I know that channel.
Yeah, man. Word.
Yeah, when I said, oh yeah, it's got this World Star Hip Hop thing, you were like, yeah, wow, that's a super big channel.
They're quite big, yeah.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Hip Hop Luke.
Yeah, Hip Hop Luke. Haven't listened to it. I just know it's a thing. But yeah, I guess like it was, and also the video. It wasn't like he'd filmed it in his garage or anything, wasn't it? It wasn't like he'd just done it on his phone. He's got some people and some budget there. This seems like a fairly serious crack at being a rap star.
I like how there's obviously a budget there, but it's also like if it was super big budget rap stuff, it would have a few more shots in.
Yeah.
Or like a few more setups. It feels like some parts of the video are just this guy in a room.
Well, there are 3 setups, yeah.
Yeah.
There's him in the garage with the
big guy.
gargantuan man. There's him.
The wrestling fan.
There's him in the funeral, his own funeral, I believe.
Yeah.
And then
so he can rise like a phoenix.
Yeah. And then there's him, but he's there.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of like
Is
a ghost,
is
isn't
the
he?
idea that he rose like a phoenix, and that's why no one's turned up to his funeral?
Because he's not.
He's
actually
stood
dead.
up out of the box, out of the coffin, and everyone's gone, "Oh my god!" Ah! And then run away.
But a lot of people are just there, like laughing at the coffin. Yeah, I think
they're the haters.
They are. I would agree.
Really?
It is a metaphorical death.
Yeah,
I don't think it's meant to be a very literal video.
No, okay, but it's. I mean,
on the nose as some of the lyrics are.
Those are about his consensual junk.
Well, we'll dive into the rap video. Well, we're gonna try and do a little watch through where we can do this in real time in a sec.
Can we not? It'd be better if we don't.
You haven't shut up about it. You were watching it earlier today.
I was. I've been singing it the whole time.
Yeah, the rap.
My consensual something.
It's the way he pauses. Anyway, we'll get on to that. So, wrestling. If he could make a wrestling return, the WWE bridge appears to have been burned. If not from the manner he left and his previous behaviour, then definitely by releasing this rap video, rather childishly addressing all of the stuff. Like, imagine if he came out after that, the charges were dropped, and he was super humble. And he just said on social media, this has been a really, like, just scary experience for me. And, you know, my God, not taking anything away from all the genuine cases of sexual abuse, but, this is how it can possibly backfire on people. It was a close one, and I'm going to use this to sort of reform my own character. Maybe 6 months down the line, WWE might reach out and go, hey, Enzo, maybe you do want to come back as a manager role because you're an excellent talker. But he didn't do that. He released a rap video making fun of all the stuff he could have learned from.
Yeah. He really went above and beyond, actually, and sort of
maybe
slightly
he did
douchey behaviour.
Maybe he did at one point think all those things. Maybe this is a turning point in my life that I should just lean into rather than sort of actively go against. And then he goes into a room, and Jeff Hardy style comes out. Wow! Whoa, yeah! My synapses with the ladders! I'm going to make a rap video, guys. Any objections? And then all of his douchebag friends are like, that sounds like a really good idea.
This is the best way to air your grievances. It's you should just hit the nail on the head here, put it to bed for everyone. Never bring it up again. this is the best way to do it. This is someone who, I don't know, like if she's lying or whether she thinks it was an assault. I mean, the lines are blurred with these kind of things anyway, because consent is not a very easy thing to do. So if she thinks that's what's happened, and maybe it's somewhere in the middle ground, and now he's done a 5-minute song being like, that's for lying, that's for no. You'd just be like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, because you could do a bit more of a sort of, like Aziz Ansari's recent sort of debacle. He apologised and said, I'm really sorry if I made you feel like that. And, I'm not saying it was right to have done the action in the first place, but when you're in the sort of blurred lines, not to also quote Robin Thicke, but like if you're in the sort of blurred hinterland of negotiating
fine,
these
didn't
things, he did. He was an upstanding young gentleman. But yeah, if you're just sort of navigating that, it's difficult because people have their own feelings on what's happening.
So you wouldn't release a rap diss track?
No.
Not just like even a sexual assault thing, just like for any
Bad
bad thing in your life.
It didn't have to be a diss track. It could have been a rap, I'm sorry. Why has no one ever rapped an apology?
There must be. Oh, but would you count Sorry by Blue and Elton John? Doesn't someone rap in that?
Yeah, but that was back when all boy bands had to have one rap guy.
Yeah, you need gimmicks to differentiate them. Otherwise, what they bring into the group.
Well, there was an obvious reason why they'd chosen the rap guy in Blue,
Yeah,
and a few other bands had that same exact sort of like, this is who the rap guy archetype is. There's almost Five who had abs.
Yeah, a kind of thing that's similar on WWE commentary teams these days. There's always someone slotted into a certain slot.
Yes, the superfluous,
which is quite
superfluous third slot.
So yes, the wrestling. WWE probably not a thing that's going to happen for a while, if ever. So you've got Impact, Ring of Honor, New Japan, or just some indies. Because he could command a high price, I think, going around the indies doing his Enzo spiel.
He could indeed. I think the indies is most likely.
But would he? I don't know if he would not lower him. I'm talking from Enzo's perspective.
No, he has a. Yeah, I think he holds himself to a high standard of like he's very status oriented, as his video has proven. He thinks quite highly of himself.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to just do like rando indies with the James Ellsworths of the world.
He's not going to Cody Rhodes or Drew McIntyre journeyman it, is he?
No, absolutely
He's not going to learn the trade around the world and come back to WWE in 5 years' time as a 7-foot Scotsman.
No. Or with I was going to say with bleached blonde hair, but he's already got that. On some of it, the rest is leopard print or
yes, nothing wrong with leopard print.
Whichever creature it is this week. I think Ring of Honor or Impact seem like the best bets. Japan,
no,
he's not good enough. He's
happen.
not a good wrestler. His thing is talking. That's not going to go wonderfully well in Japan, I imagine.
Yeah, especially to
certain language barriers.
Yes. So I agree. I think New Japan isn't going to happen. I think Indies he would see as beneath him. So yeah, that sweet spot in the middle is Impact Wrestling and Ring of Honor. Don Callis, co-executive vice president of Impact, and one of my other best friends, he was asked this on a media call last week, I think, and he said that he effectively didn't say no. He said, right now, we're planning to push certain guys, and some like other wrestlers don't feature into those plans. But who knows as time might tell. I think Impact could be a good place for Enzo. But I really think Enzo as a super heel manager in Ring of Honor, because he's got that whole I'm not a good wrestler thing, it would be the perfect thing to go up against the wrestling loving Ring of Honor audience.
Yeah, it would really. That's really good. It would butt up against them really well, and I think put him with some sort of beastly, very talented
faction.
A little faction.
Yeah,
quite nice.
The certified G's.
The Pheonixes.
But the Pheonixes. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
He
could just learn to wrestle.
He's had quite a long time to pick that up.
It's just another option. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying he has to.
So wrestling, the whole offense style. I've always said this: the offense side of wrestling, he's not the best at. But the selling side of wrestling, oh my God, Enzo's fantastic.
Oh, he's like
the way he can limp and ragdoll himself around, because that's effectively what he was taught to do: sell for Big Cass, and Big Cass does the offensive.
Yeah.
So that the other flip side of this, it's not all Enzo's choice, I guess. Like, so if we're settling on Ring of Honor and Impact here, would you want to bring a guy like Enzo in, who is quite clearly a wild card?
Well, no, I don't think so. I think also, especially in terms of Impact, they're trying very hard to deal with some sort of legacy feelings towards the company and to their previous brand name as well. And I think Enzo's probably not. He's probably a bit too hot to touch in this regard. You want to and also they want to rebuild themselves as a wrestling brand for wrestling fans, and so they're going to want to do what Ring of Honor does and have more really good wrestling talent on there.
Stuff that isn't necessarily ex-WWE.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
well.
That's the other thing. Like they're kind of like trying to sort of shy away from the WWE guys. As obviously they've made a bit of a name for themselves of having ex-WWE guys.
Well, I know you said you didn't want to talk about the rap video, but shall we do this rap video watch through?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay, so we have loaded up Real One's Pheonix track. That is an unflattering shot of that guy's stomach.
It's got a hell of an overhang.
But he's enjoying that Oreo. Is that how do you eat your Oreos?
If I was going to eat an Oreo, I would just probably put it in my mouth.
Yes.
And bite down, rather than...
And not just Oreos, I've heard.
I feel like
that's your method.
That's my method for all things. I just find dismantling the food seems pointless.
Yeah. I tend to eat Oreos just by as many as I can fit in.
Just sort of do the New Day pour.
You ever get like one isn't enough? So you just like make a stack.
So you're using them sort of like as...
Oh, the song started. Okay, so... I forgot how many... I'm going to have to bleep all this out.
You are indeed.
There must be a...
Do you think there's a clean version?
There must be a clean version.
No, it's not. It's got interesting earring.
So this T-shirt that he's wearing is apparently the T-shirt he was wearing on his last episode of Raw backstage. So that's pretty meta. Today is the best day of my life. It sounds like he's almost trying to do a reggae Jamaican man voice. Or what were you
These are the ones. No, this is the bit where he like starts to struggle to say the words quick enough. He's like,
one take. Yeah, that's fine. We'll
fine,
stick with that take.
Well, that's the thing is like they filmed this on actual film reel and they ran out. It's very expensive.
So this guy is obviously wrestling fans, right?
Yes.
Yes. So we're in the funeral now.
Oh yes, he has got mates at the funeral.
It's quite sparsely populated. So this lady who's laughing, she's got the big, thick-rimmed glasses, the pink hair, and a nose piercing. Looks very much like Philomena Sheehan, who was his accuser. There's the line.
There it is, and there's the line. The consensual penis.
He's very angry in this part.
What do you think of his actual rapping style?
I mean, I'm not going to claim to be a guy who's very au fait in rapping, but I do like that it doesn't sound the same as all the other raps that seem to come out at the moment, which is the...
Mumble rap.
Mumble rap, yeah.
No, this is almost the exact opposite of mumble rap. This is a very cross man listing all the reasons how he's been wronged.
So now they're the middle finger at us. Do I have to blur that out?
Probably, yeah.
So, I mean, there are shots in this video that look really cool.
It's a nicely made video. I have no gripes with the people who created or made it. It's just what it's for. I just like.
The other thing is...
I'll see you at the civil trial.
Wow. So now he's in a buggy. A dune buggy, is that what they're called?
Yes, that's a dune buggy.
A dune buggy. And he is towing his...
Own coffin. And he's going to bury himself.
I think he's got a presence. He certainly has a presence.
He's got some. You're definitely aware he's there.
I don't think this is the...
It's not the... You couldn't miss him.
I just don't think this is the right outlet for this presence.
No.
because it is quite unlikable, I find.
Yeah, I feel like WWE was a good place for him because it made him be PG. And you know what, like being a loud bellend is only really good in PG.
Yeah.
Because once he's allowed to say whatever he wants, you start getting into all of his actual thoughts, which he thinks him and his penis are consensual. He thinks everything she did was wrong.
It does.
He thinks he's validated everything he's ever done.
And he's just not as threatening.
No.
Like, I found him more intimidating when he wasn't allowed to embrace this.
Which is silly because
version of
obviously also in WWE you've seen him standing next to Big Cass, who's 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
All these other, you've seen him standing next to
How tall he is.
physically imposing. He is, in fact, 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that.
He does a kip up there.
Yeah, he's still got the moves. He's clearly been practicing, doing the weights.
He said consensual penis again. And now he's putting his coffin. This is like when
putting
Kevin Nash saw his own face in a coffin when he had the feud with The Undertaker. And that really... Okay, well, it's over.
He's not even buried it. He's just pushed it in a hole. He's dug a hole and then pushed it in the hole. I feel like he could have like slung it off a bridge or
exploded it.
Or
machine gun.
Yeah. Or bin in it.
Just chuck it in the bin.
Bin in it and then
Get a
just
skip. So, yeah, closing thoughts on that thing that just happened.
Eric and Brett, can't see the other name because it's behind
the name of the
thing.
director, yeah.
Very good job.
Nice, yeah.
Well done to them.
Good visual
Claps.
execution of whatever Enzo told you to do.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm interested in what his follow-up song will be about.
Yeah, but like what other material is he going to mine?
Because is he going to be like Adele and only do songs about his life?
I hope so.
Which is why Adele obviously only has very few albums, because she was like writing about heartache mostly, and then she was like everything went fine, so I sort of stopped writing anything because it was going well for a while. So whatever the next,
She needs a breakup.
whatever
she needs a horrible tragedy, doesn't she?
She needs a tragic breakup, and Enzo obviously had this moment of drama to come up with this song. So what will the next dramatic thing for Enzo be?
Well, I can't wait to find out.
So the thing I've decided to talk about, which isn't really news, but I just think it's quite interesting, that the best match of wrestling I watched this week was Cedric Alexander versus Buddy Murphy on 205 Live. An absolute slobber knocker of a match. It was incredible.
Slobber knocker.
A slobber knocker. But they were
So it was hard hitting.
It was
I haven't seen the match.
hard hitting. There was some like, as you would expect from these two guys, like amazing feats of athleticism. But there was also just bits where they were just trying to kick each other's heads off. But it was given weirdly, and this is obviously like 205 Live is only an hour long, but comparative to SmackDown, which didn't give. How long did that give the sort of Joe?
It was about 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 12.
Yeah, so about 12 minutes for this. Was originally sort of billed as a dream match. Raw gave the women's gauntlet, which is literally like an 7 or 8 woman match.
Yeah,
which included all of their entrances.
I think it was 5.
Yeah, so like 20 minutes? It was more than 5. It was Sasha Bailey.
It was 6, yeah, you're right.
All of Absolution. So not Absolution.
Oh, no, you're right, it was 7.
Yeah, it was 7 at least, because it was 7.
Dana and Mickey.
Yeah, Dana and Mickey. So 7 women had to compete in this, and that was only about 20 minutes long. This match was like half an hour. And it just... And considering also, when they film 205 Live, they just tack it on the end of SmackDown, I believe. I think it's been said before that they actually have previously stopped the end of SmackDown before the main event, done 205, and then they do the main event of SmackDown, so to make people stay through it.
Yeah, they hold the dark match till after 205 Live, yeah.
So this is already when people have seen what they've come to see, and then they're just waiting on another thing that they want to see. However, they've got to sit through this sort of middle bit.
It's the hour piss break
exactly.
for some people, not for us.
But what happened in this was that there was more reaction from the audience, from the crowd, in this one match than I've seen in the last month's worth of WWE.
I'm going to watch it tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it.
It's genuinely, if you like wrestling, watch it, because it's great, and it gets quite a few "This is awesome" chants. I mean, Cedric had the hometown advantage of people were buying into it automatically there, but they earned it. They earned standing ovations, and this is awesome. It's genuinely.
So it's your match of the week.
It is my match of the week.
Need a jingle for that.
Match of the week. We'll do it in the Enzo Amore style. Match of the week!
You ready for some crap gimmicks?
Gimmick.
You enjoyed this last week.
I did.
Well, you always enjoy it.
I always
don't
enjoy
you?
it. It was really funny.
Yeah, but more so last week. Seemed like it was afresh to you, like a novelty thing.
I'm just saying it with new eyes.
So, James... Oh, actually, we should go over, if people are new to the Crap Gimmicks format, it's where you, the SWAF Nation, send us in really bad ideas for wrestling characters. And we decide whether to sign them or...
Bin 'em. Burn that bridge.
For our Crap Gimmick roster. And from next Saturday, Luke, we've got a bit of an exciting announcement regarding the Crap Gimmick roster.
I'll do a drum roll. I can't...
Yes.
It's really hard to drum roll on hold.
Well, I mean...
this and I'll drum roll.
I'm not going to announce it now. That was a tease
Okay.
for the announcement next week.
Okay, announce the announcement. Ready?
I've got an exciting announcement for next week.
Da!
Oh, so
Whoa.
stay tuned for that. So first up we have James Dillon, who has pitched a character called Sal Manella.
Mhm.
So just based on that name, what are you thinking?
Italian.
Okay, yes.
Like,
Food poisoning.
I'm thinking, well, obviously food poisoning. But yeah, I'm thinking some sort of... Does he run a terrible pasta place in New York and gives people food poisoning?
That's how he could overcome his opponents.
With food poisoning?
Yeah. Like he just serves
He goes
them
around.
food
He goes
the night
around the
before.
canteen. Yeah, I quite like it.
That is so incorrect.
Is it?
Yeah, let's find out what James Dillon has.
I just followed the logic, so I can't wait to see.
Science.
Yeah, I've done the science.
Science,
there.
man. Salmonella is a Salmonella is a professional cooter catcher from Florida. A cooter is a nickname for a breed of turtle native to the eastern United States. Using his skills as a trapper, Sal's wrestling style uses a lot of submissions. He will start with a simple lockup before transitioning very slowly into another hold. A 10-minute match might only see Sal pull off 3 to 4 moves. His slow pace is extremely frustrating for opponents who are faster and more agile, as they tend to get tired sooner than Sal does. Sal's finishers are the Cooter Clamp, which starts as a cross-face chicken wing before transitioning into an iron claw, and the Shell Cracker, a running flip senton to an opponent seated in the corner. Sal's entrance music is Purebred Redneck by Cooter Brown, and his ring valet will always be a woman named Shelley. What do you think?
Well, I feel like the name was a bit of a swerve there, wasn't it?
Wasn't it?
Why is he called Salmonella? Why hasn't he got some sort of Trapper Man name? Which I can't think of.
I can't figure this out.
What is a Trapper Man's name?
Trapper Man.
Trapper Man.
Trapper Man can. It's a bit of a muddled affair, James, if I'm going to be honest. They've got two finishing moves, which you're a fan of.
I'm a fan of more than one finishing move.
A submission and
A cannon. Well, what is it? Ostensibly a cannonball.
Yeah, but like if his whole thing is he's really slow and he's pacing around the ring, a running flip senton.
Yeah.
Is
I thought that's
quite
going
a
to look
fast
really,
move.
really out of place in his
Yeah.
arsenal of like mostly just holding them while they're on the floor.
Yeah, because that's the bit I like. I like the idea of a really slow wrestler, like Zack Sabre Jr. stuck in syrup. Is how I'm imagining this.
Yeah, I like that idea. Like he laboriously sets up every hold, but then once you're in it, well, there's no getting out.
Yeah.
If you can manipulate all of your joints really, really slowly and get you in this little hold.
And it's not just gonna trap the opponent, it's gonna trap the audience.
Yes.
Because that is not an enjoyable match to watch.
No. Well, we were saying this about Zack Sabre Jr. yesterday. We were just saying that obviously he's really interesting to watch, and you applaud him for what he does, because if you know wrestling, you're like, oh, that's really... The way he tells a story with matches is really good. However, in a live scenario, more than one Zack Sabre Jr. type match, that's quite difficult to get into.
Yeah, you don't want to overpopulate the card.
But especially also when you're at an actual live event and everyone's a bit drunk.
Bit boozy.
Everyone's a bit boozy. Everyone's like, why are they lying down?
Well, you see, that's where I think this could work. And that is, if there's a rowdy crowd and they're all invested in the slow man character,
Yeah.
then they could start to count for... You know, like how people count for the the delayed suplex when they're up there.
Oh, yeah.
If they count for just a chicken wing or a rest hold, that could be quite funny.
But do you think that's then sort of, is that being a heel or a face?
It
'Cause
would,
could also
be like an Elias style heel.
Because I think it's a heel sort of thing to like really overly labour and slow down a match.
Definitely. The Peter Ebdon of wrestling. It's a snooker joke. Very outdated. Is he still playing?
I honestly don't know. All I know about snooker is there's little vests.
Little vests.
People wear little vests.
Little waistcoats.
Yeah.
Yeah, snazzy. I tried to be a waistcoat guy relatively recently. And all my friends took the mick out of me.
How recently?
Like my birthday 2 months ago. I just thought, let's try it.
Yeah, let's just apropos of nothing.
And
start
my girlfriend,
wearing.
my girlfriend was like, "You look great. This is awesome. Yeah, you should dress like this more often rather than wrestling t-shirts." And I got to the little drinks that we had, and all my friends ripped the crap out of me.
As was their
It was their
right.
duty.
It was their right and duty, and they did the correct thing.
Haven't worn it since.
No.
It cost a lot of money. But yes, so there's the slow transitioning moves.
Yes.
But it just doesn't tie into the idea of a Kuta catcher.
I mean, he could be, because this is...
I guess the trapper side of
a
things.
trapper side of things you could work with, but why does it have to be he specifically catches a specific type of turtle native to the eastern United States?
Yeah.
He could be literally a trapper of any kind of animal at all.
Just patient.
Yeah. I always thought this would be like a good gimmick for... remember when Adam Rose used to be Leo Kruger?
And he's hunting days.
So he was a hunt.
Yeah.
His thing was hunting, but he never did like... that was just a sort of his gimmick, but what he should have done with it is been like... Because he was always struggling to find how to get it over. Be like a big game hunter and be like, I'm here for rhino. I'm here, and obviously then you'd have to struggle with the
really
other one.
Limit yourself.
Really
to who
limit
you can
yourself.
face.
The Viper. I'm here, anyone with an animal nickname in WWE.
The Big Dog
is fair game. The Big Dog. Yeah, I'm here for the Big Five of WWE. The Big Dog, the Viper, Rhino.
Jinder Mahal used to call himself the Beastmaster, and the Beast, Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, and Sheamus was the Great White at some points.
That kind of fits.
There's so many, and it's so stretched to its limit.
So yes, I'm going to say no, unfortunately, James, unless you feel particularly passionately
Oh no,
about Salmonella.
I'm perfectly happy to pass over Salmonella.
It's just the name as well, like Salmonella. Maybe there's a load of trapper enthusiasts that are yelling at us right now, saying this is a great gimmick, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
But we're not picking up on it.
These turtles have Salmonella.
And I forgot about the valet called Shelley. That's such a Hail Mary at the end of the pitch.
Yeah.
Last line. Oh, and he's got a ring valet called Shelley. That's it. No character to her.
No, what does she do? Like hold his gear.
So next up, and our last crap gimmick for the day, is Jeremy Baines' submission. And this is a weird one.
Because the last one was completely sane and normal.
Yeah, well, yeah.
All the ones last week were fine.
That's a benchmark. Okay, so bear with me on this. I think we might have to pause occasionally and unpack it, because it's kind of...
Oh my!
It's two different... It's just 3 paragraphs.
Oh,
but they are quite long.
just 3 whole paragraphs.
It's 2 different gimmicks here. Right. Lucky Lady Libby is a babyface wrestler who comes to the ring dressed like Zatanna from the DC Comics. So that's instantly cool.
Yeah.
That's a good look.
I like the fact it's Zatanna from the DC Comics and not just a female magician.
Well, I don't think all female magicians dress in that particular way.
No.
So it's fishnets on long legs.
Top hat and tails.
Yeah, and that's it, really.
Yeah, that's
high heels. On her way to the ring, she does magic tricks for the kids at ringside and tosses her signature top hat into the audience. She's great at escaping her opponent's offense, and her matches end when she yells the name of her finisher, 2-O-Pat, which is tap out spelled backwards.
Mm-hmm. But also sounds vaguely like...
Tap out still.
But also top hat.
Oh yeah. 2-O-Pat. 2-O-Pat. It's not a chant.
2-O-Pat. It's not. I don't think people are going to get behind this.
Well.
2-O-Pat.
You would be mistaken.
Oh,
because James has already put... Sorry, Jeremy has already put that in.
Just in case people will.
2-0-pat is a DDT into a Kimura lock. Sounds pretty cool. A move the crowd love as they chant 2-0-pat until her opponent finally taps.
I feel like the crowd will be the judge of that. But
yes, I agree.
It's fine. We'll just write in that they love it.
You can't pitch us crowd reactions. Yeah, they're already.
We are the crowd. We are the crowd.
So the intention would be to get over that. It's not the best chant, but so if people aren't aware, Zatanna speaks backwards, and that's how she casts her spells, which is where that thing comes from.
I didn't know. I only know that she was made by Paul Dini.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yes.
That late?
Yeah.
Huh. Things get.
He also married a woman who looks like Zatanna, or he based Zatanna off his wife. I'm not sure.
Blimey. Things get
imitating
crap.
life. Or
Things get crap.
Go on, sorry.
When Commissioner Ollie Davis signs a hot new wrestler, Steph Trollins, whose body looks like Seth Rollins, but whose wrestling skills are greener than trees in spring. So this is Steph is also a lady here. Okay. I'm guessing.
But with a man's body.
With the body of Seth Rollins.
With the body of the literal body of Seth Rollins.
And a lady's face. Yeah. Stephanie's face.
Sounds like Bobby Lashley's sisters.
Trollins gets dubbed by Ollie the hottest thing in wrestling. Seeing the success of Libby, Davis pairs the two together, having Trollins constantly saving or defending the honour of Libby against the likes of the Fishmonger. Another gimmick in the crap gimmick roster. So, okay, that's... feel like you could have stopped with the Libby Lady Luck, and now this Steph Trollins character has come in.
What's her vibe, though, apart from the fact that she looks like Rollins and she's green?
Nothing.
Not in colour, not in complexion, but in wrestling skills.
Yes. Being a professional, Libby goes along with it. She wrestles fewer and fewer matches, and Trollins starts utilising her signature moves and finisher. Libby becomes a hype person for Ollie's guy. After not getting over, Libby is made to flirt with the other wrestlers, and eventually, in a heel turn, she will break up with Trollins to get sympathy for Trollins's, I think they mean, character. She goes on a losing streak, even when cheating, and devolves into a lower card enhancement wrestler for new signees. During her losing streak, she runs across the now champion Trollins, who shakes his head at her, walks off with his world heavy... He's just forgotten their world heavyweight crap title and her new girlfriend. Hope this wasn't too long. The phenomenal J.A. Fane. So that's how he signs off there.
Oh.
So yes,
that's the better gimmick. The phenomenal J.A. Fane. Yeah.
So everything's a feint, or
yeah. I don't know. I just prefer the name more. It makes more sense.
Yeah. That one word is better than the rest of the.
I don't understand it at all. At all. Why? What's Seth Trollins's or Steph Trollins's deal? How is she defending the honour in the first place of Libby Lady Luck if she's so green?
I guess if she's booked that way.
I guess, yeah, if you're... Okay, well, yeah. So this is all your fault, is what this is saying. So
it's very meta.
Ruined this. So the only way we can stop this happening is not to book it.
And we haven't had...
We've been left with no choice.
We haven't had a submission like this yet, which is not just a crap gimmick. They've tried to crap gimmick pitch and book the backstage happenings of the crap gimmick roster. This is another level, and I'm not sure it's worked. I think it's a commentary.
Because it's not really a gimmick.
The first bit is...
The first...
Libby Lady Luck is... Or Lucky Lady Libby. We did send it the wrong way round.
Lady Luck. Yeah, okay. But, yeah, she's sort of a gimmick. So
she's too good.
She can escape any hold.
Yeah.
And then she yells, "To her pat!" And then...
To her pat!
To her pat! And then she does her little finish, a DDT into a Kimura, which is quite cool. I like the idea of a sort of transition.
But it's not meant to be cool. This is it's meant to be a crap gimmick.
Yeah.
2-0 Pat is perfect for the
that
crap
is a crap
That's
gimmick.
really crap.
But I still think like a cool finish is fine if you've got a crap chant to go with it.
It needs
like a really crap chant.
But it needs to be really contrived in the character. Like the DDT into a Kimura lock is just a cool move. but she needs a kind of...
She needs to sort of lean into the escapologist. She should do her submissions. She should escape from her own submissions.
That's great.
She's such an escapologist that she can't put her...
And she's like, oh no, what
because
have I done?
every time she goes to put the figure 4 in, she does the legs wrong, and then it just all slips out.
Yeah. Or she can just like... someone's got her in a really... It looks like a really intense crossface or something, and she just slides out.
Oh, and
the wrestler's still there doing it.
Oh,
yeah,
that's great.
So I'm gonna decline on. I mean, even if we just take Lucky Lady Libby as the pitch in this longer thing here, I still don't think it's right.
I don't either.
Sorry,
I feel like
Jeremy.
it's also if you book it, then you have to book the next part.
Yeah, we can't just take
it
one
literally
bit.
says that you would book it.
Yeah, so we're gonna decline, I'm afraid, Jeremy. So we've got a mailbag right now. Mailbag.
Big
Mailbag.
old bag.
Mailbag.
Why do they still call it a mailbag when they basically don't exist?
So you want it to be called the email folder?
Yes, I want it to be the email folder.
Okay. So we've got an email folder of stuff that I've filed in.
It's much jazzier.
It's if you want to get a look into how I organise my Gmail, it is
No one wants to see that.
number 4. It's WrestleTalk, then it's number 4 fan mail. That's where it goes into.
Great.
Because if you number them, it kind of nicely orders it on the side.
The 20th time you spoke.
I was going to recommend this.
You spent a long time earlier recommending Evernote to me.
Yeah, it's a really good productivity device.
God.
Honestly, Getting Things Done by David Allen.
Oh God.
You were you feigned interest
yeah,
outside, but now we're in front of people.
Oh God.
Getting Things Done by David Allen will transform your life in terms of sorting emails.
Great. You'd be recommending me hypnosis tapes next.
Are you interested?
No, I'm all right, thank you.
So, from Jared Conister,
You've done it wrong there. It should have been, you are interested.
Best tag teams WWE could bring in to freshen up the division. So, I'm going to take this as NXT or Ring of Honor or anything outside main roster WWE that we could bring in here.
Fine.
I guess just only for Raw, because SmackDown's pretty damn good at the moment.
SmackDown is really good. If we're going to go NXT, let's bring War Raiders up as quickly as possible. I think the only reason they wouldn't go up quickly is because, they sort of swerve very close to Bludgeon Brothers.
Yes. Yeah.
But then on Raw, that'd be fine. However, they didn't know what to do with the last set of monsters they got given. AOP.
Yeah, main event. That's what they were going to do.
R.I.P. AOP. Who else? Obviously, I think the obvious one from NXT would be Undisputed Era.
Yeah, and that's a whole nice faction there.
Yeah, that not only freshens up the tag division, that freshens up like across the board.
Upper mid
it's
card,
so good.
yeah.
But that should be, I think, the Undisputed Era in general should be a multi-brand.
Really?
There should be factions of that on Raw and SmackDown and NXT.
Just all ex-ROH guys.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
I just think that should just be there should be 3 guys on each brand and then they all turn up for pay-per-views as a team of 9 people.
Like a good version of Absolution.
Yes, exactly.
And the Riot
but that's
Squad.
exactly what they should have been as well.
Yes.
That should have been one wing of. They should both be the same, 2 different wings of one thing.
Especially when you had the Women's Royal Rumble just round the corner, where that big grouping together in one match would make sense. Obviously, the Young Bucks. I don't think that's ever going to happen, though.
No.
I can see them quite comfortably being their own people forever.
I feel like they're making the top dollar in wrestling outside of WWE. So if you're already the highest paid people outside of this company, unless that company's going to offer you mega bucks and an easier time, because the thing is the Young Bucks also travel around the world the whole time and do shows, as do the WWE guys. I guess, the only difference would be more money.
Oh, it'd probably be less money if they went to WWE, from what I've heard. I mean, selfishly, Marty Skrull and Zack Sabre Jr., they used to be a tag team called Leaders of the New School. That's super fantasy booking, though, because they are doing quite well as singles stars if you brought them together. I think they were a tag team in PWG last year, so they did reunite. But there's loads of stuff that WWE, like you said, had in NXT already. Heavy Machinery could be. But then they wouldn't be the act to really... Street Profits would be
Street Profits would be great. They're also because, they're just good promo as well.
So, kind of similar theme, Wrestling with Life has asked, Balor, Styles, Cole, Galanderson, all former Bullet Club members. Who do you think will be the next Bullet Club member to join WWE?
Ooh.
So we've got Cody, Young Bucks, Marty, Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, kind of, if you still count him. I do. Bad Luck Fale, Bone Soldier.
Not Bone Soldier.
And there's more Tama Tonga.
Yeah, Tama. I mean, I'd like it to be Marty, because I just think he's just. He's
so good in NXT.
He's just all the fun.
Yeah.
He's just really good. I love the villain as a character as well. It's just great. Everything he does is brilliant. Kenny Omega, love to see, obviously. And it seems like obviously getting him out of the Bullet Club could be the road to getting him there in the first place. So maybe, I don't know.
Maybe.
Again, we've already discussed Bucks, so no.
Yeah, so that was more of who do you want to be? Who do you think will actually be the next to go? I think Hangman Page, probably.
And why is that?
I just feel like all the other guys have kind of planted their flag in the ground quite firmly as anti-WWE. And Hangman Page, honestly, has come on so much in just the last 6 months. He's become one of my favourite people to watch wrestle. He just looks so, I'm going to say a stupid word again, he looks so hard when he hits people. It's just so hard. And I feel like he would be, because he's not a huge player in the Bullet Club, he could be an easy one.
Yeah, I guess it's that sort of, it's looking for people like that aren't really the top guys in it.
Yes.
And then they'll end up there. And then the problem is, as soon as they get more of them over there, they're just going to start doing that again, and he'll just go back to being the sort of second fiddle guy to the Ballas and the AJs and the Galanderson.
Like WWE really care about reuniting successful factions in their own brand anyway. Frags has asked, thoughts on McGregor, Conor McGregor, moving over to WWE?
No. I think he is a liability, and I don't think they would have him.
I agree. We just spoke for like 20 minutes about Enzo Amore being too much backstage.
Yeah, McGregor
will be that times a gazillion.
Yeah, I think he's...
It would give them ratings, though.
Oh, it would. Yeah, I think I could see him going there for maybe like one match, doing like a WrestleMania appearance or something like that. Like, if they, because also I guess the relationship between UFC and WWE seems to be sort of easing a bit now, and they seem to be getting a bit more pally. So maybe there could be some sort of crossover type event that you see McGregor appear at. I don't think he'd ever end up there full time.
No, not in a Ronda Rousey way.
No, I think he also probably thinks it's silly.
Yeah,
I just think he's the sort of person who thinks it's dumb.
Well, he did tweet, I think it was 2 years ago, where he just went on a big rampage calling wrestlers little kitty cats. That name for little kitty cats that's offensive. And, you know, that one.
So it took me a while.
And rhymes with wussies. A bunch of wussies. But you look at the guy, he's obviously modelled himself on a pro wrestler. He's like he said himself, I think, the robes were taken from Ric Flair. So I think he does love professional wrestling. Actually, he follows loads. He is a fan because he follows loads of WWE wrestlers. Yeah, well,
his tweet there would have been
just working a match.
He's just working it. That's the thing about McGregor, and the thing that a lot of the other MMA fighters are starting to do now a little bit. They all take it very seriously, and he's the only person for a long time, and that's why he's got to the top. He wasn't taking it seriously. He was just playing a game. So he knew, if I say this gets the equivalent of heat in MMA, and then people want to come and watch this match.
I totally agree. He's just taken it way too far now, where he's throwing dollies at buses.
The problem is he's become sort of an inverse parody of himself now.
Yeah. Wrestle Vengeance asks, how will CM Punk gate crash All In? If he does. I've said this before, I think with a promo, setting up a match at All In 2, and that's how you sell out a larger venue for All In 2.
Yeah, I think keeping him in reserve is actually the best way to play it, and I think having him either do a run-in on someone like Cody,
and that sets it up,
or Have him run in on Cody and be like, I'm the best in the world, and almost do. You could do a play-by-play of the Jericho stuff with Kenny Omega, like that kind of Alpha Omega, but he runs in and does all this kind of stuff. That would work. I think that would set it up nicely. But I don't think you want to punk your load on this one particularly. You want to sort of build it up.
Reserve that punk load.
Reserve that, yeah.
Tantric that punk load.
Edge the punk load.
Straight
edge the punk load.
Finished?
I am, yeah, if you want to move on.
should have saved it. Myself asks, why is Gamora?
Don't know.
Do you know that was an ad-lib line by Batista?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. Apparently, really there's loads of ad-libs in that film.
He's brilliant.
He is great.
Chicago Deadman, do you think Big E winning the Money in the Bank match be good for business? I think he missed out the word would. But do you think be good for business?
Or is it because... Oh, no, it's not. Don't worry. I thought there was more going on with that, and it was maybe a pun or something, but it's not. I think maybe it do be good for business.
Oh, were you saying Big E be good?
Yeah,
I know.
Because B-E...
Oh, maybe he did mean that.
I don't think so, because it's not capitalised, and that's just...
we're giving them a bit too much credit.
Use the correct grammar.
So you think no, it wouldn't be good for business? It's not going to shift any needles. It'd be interesting.
I think it would be interesting. I think breaking up the New Day is bad for business. Personally, because obviously the New Day, they're one, good in matches, two, sell a ton of merchandise.
Good use of
a boatload,
a
bucket load,
a ton,
a thunder ton,
a Terry funking ton.
Yeah, they sell loads of stuff, man. It's just I don't know. I think if you break up the New Day. Well, I guess you could keep the New Day if you just did Xavier and Kofi, and then Big E went on a big singles run.
They could still be friends.
And they could still be friends, yeah. But I don't know. I think they're much better as a tag team.
Yeah, if you're looking at this purely like as business, as in money made, keeping the New Day together, selling that merchandise is definitely the way to go. In terms of whether any Money in the Bank winner will actually be good for business, I would have to say Samoa Joe, because he has demonstrably proven that he can shift the needle in terms of interest in the product when he's programmed against the right guy. The reason Great Balls of Fire last year did so well and overcame a frankly stupid pay-per-view name.
Yeah, I forgot about that, actually. Until you said it, I was like, oh yeah, that happened.
Yeah, it was because it was Brock Lesnar and Samoa Joe, and that really was responsible for turning WWE around last year.
Yeah, that was that was just an incredible build to what was a fairly good match, as far as I remember. I don't think the match was
okay. It went like 7 minutes.
Yeah, the match was okay, but the build was insane.
So I would say Samoa Joe would be that would potentially be the most money making further down the line.
And we discussed this last week, I think, about Joe, and just saying how having him have the briefcase is so good, because you can get you can just milk so many moments out of him. And he said it himself this week on SmackDown. He was saying, if I have this, I'm going to unleash a campaign of terror on the rest of the division. Yeah,
just imagine him standing there with the briefcase, looking at every championship match, and then going, not today. Just playing with it. It'd be great. Off the back of last week's intense discussion, #FBPE Papinator has gone in touch again following last week's great discussion on foreheads. Who has the best looking chin in WWE?
I said this earlier. EC3, I think, has a wonderful little chin. It's like a
not little.
Yeah, well, he's got a massive chin, but it's like a beautiful little bottom on his face. It's really nice.
You had another pun. I don't want to step on your pun here.
Oh yeah, Chin XT.
Chin XT. Chin XT.
Chin XT.
Because it's NX3 at the moment, right?
NX3, but then it could be Chin XT.
Yeah, I like that more.
That's if they become a faction, though. EC3.
All the chins.
No, EC3 and his own chin become a faction.
Running down for the hot tag. Have you ever seen Braun Strowman shaved?
I've never seen a shaved Braun Strowman.
Yeah,
no.
babyface Braun Strowman. So he shared an image like 3 weeks ago, I think, on Instagram. It was like a throwback Thursday, and it was of him when he was, I don't know, 12, and he had the size. He was still the same shape now, but he just didn't have a beard. He's got a massive chin. I compared it to Thanos' chin, and I reckon he's the son of Thanos because of it. So I would go Braun.
Braun's,
but you don't notice it.
No, Braun's one of those guys who's got a very small face for his head.
Yeah, it's all in there.
He's got a lot of head and a very small amount of face, very centered.
Mm.
Those are my thoughts.
Cyber Bean. Cyber Bean says, "What's the point in kidnapping and imprisoning someone you want to replace if they were already leaving on their own accord for a holiday?"
Do you know what this is in reference to?
No, I just got the list of Twitter things.
Is this?
But
was this a storyline or something? I think it must have been. It must have been a story.
Have been a WWE thing.
Well, I think probably like a really obscure indie.
I mean, if that is a WWE storyline, I agree. It doesn't make much sense to do it that way.
It's absolute nonsense.
Sammy M. Pemberton.
Yet another example of terrible booking on WWE's part.
Yeah, come on, do it better, WWE.
Actually, try.
Sammy M. Pemberton. What does that M stand for?
Pemberton.
Sammy.
I don't know.
Pemberton.
Pemberton.
My question is, when was the last time you went to Specsavers? # set Luke free. # Luke versus fake Luke in a casket match. You said you went to Specsavers recently.
I did, yeah, I did. I got some new glasses. It freaked me out when I first got them because I've had the same glasses for 4 years and I didn't realise how blind I was. And then when I got these glasses, it started giving me a headache because I could see so clearly. All the extra layers of detail really...
It was like the Matrix.
It did, yeah.
I can see everything now.
Well, I think all the extra information going in...
Overload.
Actually, it made my brain hurt.
Punk load. All in your eyes.
Yes.
Apparently that stings. And Christos Kladifteras...
So I get saline solution.
FT writes, "Ollie Davis, can't you go back and watch the videos on YouTube to see this guy kidnap Luke?" What guy kidnap Luke? You're right here.
Who's kidnapped Luke?
I don't know. Let me just get up the WrestleTalk videos.
No, there's no.
Oh my
God!
Help. What is
that?
Let
me help.
Can you get Luke?
No, come back! Hey,
Luke!
hey! Come back here!
Luke!
Come back!